Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to share my screen. My name is Julie Muse, and I am very honored to be able to share the information that I'm sharing with you tonight and to be partnering alongside of some of my friends in this amazing community to share this information with you. So thank you for taking the time to be here or to watch it on the replay. Myself, along with the people sharing tonight, and likely the person who shared this information with you, is a part of a unique group called the Healthy Living Revolution, where together we are really coming together to share with others, to share with individuals and families, excuse me, ways that they can take their health back, but especially things that they can do that are simple, doable, and fun. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, and we're going to have a focus on our shred10 program. So let's get going. So the reason we're excited about the shred, the reason we're excited about the healthy living revolution is because there are two very startling trends happening in our world today. And the first is that our environmental toxins are increasing. So whether this is products that you're putting on your skin, the air that you're breathing, the water you're drinking, the food you're eating, the pharmaceuticals you're taking, whatever it is, we are really being just hit very heavily with environmental toxins. We are exposed to so much more today than the generations prior to us. And at the same time that our environment is becoming more toxic, our food quality has dramatically decreased. I love this image because this gentleman is in the center aisles of the grocery store. And I find that when I'm usually shopping in the center aisles and I look in the ingredient label, usually I'm buying food-like products. It's typically full of lots of chemicals and additives that I don't even know how to pronounce. And our food should really be what is defending us against this increase in toxicity in our environment. And unfortunately, it's not defending us at all. So what is the result of this perfect storm? Well, this is Dr. David Katz. He's the head of prevention at Yale University. And he said this may be the first generation of children to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. It's actually been confirmed that if we don't make any changes, this will be the first generation to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents, which in all of documented mankind, we've always lived longer. So this is incredibly alarming. There's something we're doing that we need to change. And I believe we will. I believe that's why we're on the call tonight, why we're embracing programs like the shred10. By the age of 12, many of our children have developed the beginning stages of hardening of the arteries. 1 in 3 children is obese, and 1 in 3 will develop diabetes in their lifetime. More than 25% of children take prescription drugs on a regular basis. This is Dr. Bill Sears. He's known as America's pediatrician, but he's sharing that adults really aren't doing any better. 1 in 3 people live with some form of cardiovascular disease. 1 in 3 women will have cancer, and 1 in 2 men. I'm going to repeat that real fast. 1 in 3 women will have cancer, and 1 in 2 men. And this is a result of the fact that our environment is becoming incredibly more toxic, and our food quality has decreased that rapidly. So it's really important. We're not on this call tonight to be talking about losing weight. This is about preventing disease in your body and your family's bodies. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050, and 1 in 3 is obese. But right here, this big quote at the bottom, 75% of all chronic disease is preventable. And you're going to learn a little bit more why later on in this presentation. Excuse me. So what do most of us do? Well, this is what I did for 28 years before I found this amazing community. When I wasn't feeling healthy, it was always really usually about weight in my mind. So I would go to dieting and exercise. And what many people don't know is that our fat is actually really protecting us. So we have this plethora of environmental toxins. And what our body does is it takes those toxins and it enrobes it in fat. It stores it in our fat cells. That way our organs are not exposed to these toxins. So really, we are the perfect weight to keep our organs as protected as possible, which is very interesting. So what we typically do is we try to exercise or maybe cut calories. We try to burn fat, which this dieting and exercise without proper nutrition puts more stress on our body, because maybe we do burn fat, but then we are exposing our organs to these toxins because they're no longer enrobed in that fat, and we end up feeling worse. And we typically then, whenever we start eating maybe more of our regular foods or we get so tired we're no longer exercising, we rebound. And our body goes into self-protection mode, and we actually start increasing our fat retention and fat production. So that's why you see so many people on this yo-yo, is because they really aren't detoxing their body. They're just burning fat. And what we're going to talk about tonight is cleansing over dieting, okay? So we have our stored fat that is protecting our organs and aerobing these toxins. So what we want to focus on is detoxing and cleansing our body, which will shed the fat. As long as we're getting rid of these toxins, our body doesn't see the need to hold on to the fat that is storing these toxins. And shedding the fat is a result of reducing toxicity. I can tell you personally, when I found this community 4 years ago, it was the first time in my life that I wasn't focused on losing weight. I was focused on being healthy, and I lost 25 pounds. And it was because I was doing this. I was reducing the toxicity in my body. Of course, then maintenance of your health is much easier because your body isn't going into self-protection mode, and you don't have that rebound. So anyone who's sharing tonight is so excited because we found this amazing solution that we call One Simple Change. It's known as Juice Plus. It was developed over 30 years ago by a doctor. It's been on the market for 25 years. And this doctor was incredibly forward-thinking. His name is Dr. Smokey Santillo. He helped cancer patients juice. And his dad was diagnosed with lymphoma, and he was given 3 weeks to live. So Dr. Smokey wanted to find a way to make his juice more powerful. So he decided that instead of juicing the fruits and vegetables, he was going to take the whole thing, with the pits, the peels, the rinds, the seeds, even the leaves, put it in a massive Vitamix, blend it up. What was left over was a slurry. And then he dehydrated that slurry, and it resulted in a powder, and what we call powdered produce. And he just pumped his dad full of that powder. And he ended up living for 6 more years. And not only did he live, but he thrived. And it's really important because as we're talking about our toxic load, fruits and vegetables actually carry the toxins out of our body. They detox our body. And we're supposed to get 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And all of us don't. And even if I have a really good day, and I do, it's rare, and it's always the same few. So I just want you to take a second to look at this variety, in color, which all do different things in your body. And imagine if your cells were getting this nutrition every single day. Our diet, our clean eating, is the first step to detoxing our body. So when our product hit the market 25 years ago, some interesting things started to happen in people. And now we really are the most unique product out there. And these are the 3 things that set us apart. The first is our nutrition label. Okay, this is food in a capsule. This is not a vitamin or a supplement. If you can eat a salad, you can eat Juice Plus. When my son and my daughter turned 6 months old, I opened up the capsule and put it in their food. Because if they can have food, they can have Juice Plus. It's full of phytonutrition that's present in plants, not isolated vitamins, non-GMO, dairy-free, and gluten-free. We have an NSF certification, which is a third party that validates that what we say is in our product is, and nothing more. It's also what ensures that it's free of any herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, yeast, mold, and bacteria, which is even better than the organic produce that we're buying at the store. And then finally, when the product hit the market 25 years ago, people had unique experiences. Whether it was blood sugar, cholesterol, eczema, allergies, improvements all over, and they decided they wanted to see what our product, what Juice Plus was doing on human beings with blood drawn. So now Juice Plus is the most researched nutritional product in the world. We have 38 published studies. We have 6 underway. We've been researched at MD Anderson, Brigham Young, Yale, Vanderbilt, and facilities outside of our country as well. So it's just know, it's not something you're just trying out. This is tried and proven in the human body. So we also have, which is incredibly important to our Shred program, our Juice Plus Complete Shakes. So I want you to consider that your body is like a car. And a car needs oil and gas and a high quality of each to run well. And you know that if you delay your oil change or you use crummy oil, as long as you have gas in your car's going to run. But problems are brewing, and that's how our body is. Our body needs micronutrition and macronutrition. Micronutrition is what we get in our capsules. It's what we get when we eat an apple. An apple has over 20,000 different nutrients that our cells thrive on. And so many of us are lacking in the micronutrition part. It's that micronutrition that's going to detoxify your body and keep it running well. Well, macronutrition is the gas. It's proteins, fats, and carbs. In our country, we have an abundance of macronutrition, but it is not very high quality. Much of it is not. And that's where the shakes come in. They're low glycemic, so they stabilize your blood sugar. The number one thing my friends tell me about our shakes is they actually keep them full. And it's because they stabilize their blood sugar. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's vegan and non-GMO, gluten and dairy free. It's full of plants. It has over 24 plants and some amazing prebiotic fibers. In the Shred program, you will have 2 shakes a day. So you could have it as your breakfast, a pre or post workout drink, or an afternoon or late night snack. While in the Shred, more like an afternoon snack. I start my day with a shake every day. So does my husband. So do my 2 children. It is the easiest and cheapest and healthiest fast food available. So this is how we detoxify. This is how we cleanse. Is we get as much whole foods into our body as we can. The beautiful thing is that our body and our cells know exactly what to do with plants. They don't know what to do with isolated vitamins and supplements, but they do know what to do with plants. And when you get this amazing synergy into your body every day, on our, really, this is a 4-month program with a 10-day jump start. So I want you to consider if your cells got this variety every single day for 4 months, what that would do. So this is really, really critical to our shred10 program. Dr. Mitra Ray, who developed the shred10, was studying willpower. She was trying to figure out why some people have it and some people don't. And what she learns, and truly I can speak from personal experience, is that willpower is a function of your blood sugar. And so I, spent the first 28 years of my life really struggling with cravings, being up and down, wondering why my friends could say no to the piece of pizza that I could not. And it was my blood sugar the whole entire time. So when we eat high glycemic food, which is most standard American food, we get this peak right here, this blue line. Our blood sugar increases, we feel really good for a little bit. Well, your body then goes into compensation mode, and eventually your blood sugar is going to drop in order to even that back out. Right here, that's what you refer to as hangry. When you are literally ready to eat whatever is in front of you, you're going crazy. I remember I personally would kind of shake and I'd feel a little sweaty. That's low blood sugar. Your body needs whatever. It's not making good decisions. So where you want to be is in this zone of willpower right here, eating low glycemic foods. Our shakes are low glycemic. Plants are low glycemic. If you eat a bunch of broccoli, you're going to stay right here in this zone of willpower. And really it's why our program encourages 2 shakes a day, is because it's going to keep you in that zone of willpower. So the shred10 is not about shredding weight. It's not about shredding 10 pounds. It's about shredding the food, toxins, and habits that are not serving you for 10 days. And I love this image. There's a pregnant woman, there's old and young, there's active and not active. This program applies to everyone. So what do you do for 10 days? Well, you are added to an amazing Facebook group and community that will support you, that is doing it with you for 10 days. There's also a shred guide that is full of, shopping lists, trackers. It answers all the questions of why am I eliminating gluten? Why am I eliminating dairy? You're going to have your support person who is either, if they aren't doing it with you, they've done it before and they can help you and they can be there for you. But what do you do for 10 days? You add more real food. You really just eat only real food. And that includes our Juice Plus Trio capsules daily and 2 complete shakes. You drink plenty of water. You're going to aim for half of your body weight in ounces of water. You sleep 7 to 8 hours. Our sleep is when we detoxify. That's when our body goes into detoxify mode. And it's really one of the first things in our country that we give up is sleep. And it's incredibly important. And you're going to exercise most days as often as you can. But what are you going to eliminate? You're going to eliminate the things that are not serving you. And we focus on the foods that are highly inflammatory and highly toxic to our body. So gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, and processed foods. For 10 days, you're going to rid your cells of that and see how they feel, as well as artificial and refined sugars. And then we're going to work on no longer eating after 6 p.m. Now, some people with your schedule, they can't do it maybe till 7 or so, and that's fine. You really want to aim for 3 hours before bedtime. But this piece is very key to our program. Like I just mentioned, your body detoxes when you sleep. So if you eat, I mean, I know I used to just snack on something right before I go to bed. Whenever we eat right before we go to bed, our body focuses on digestion, not detoxing. So when we are able to kind of give our body that break before we sleep, number one, you're going to sleep much better. And number two, your body's going to be more successful in the evening of ridding itself. So some of the most common results: craving more fruits and vegetables, having a healthier weight, better recovery, improved sleep and energy, healthier hair, skin, and nails, regularity, and increased mental clarity. We really just want you to get a taste of what your body was meant to feel like, and then figure out what you can maintain, because you're going to really be doing a 4-month program, but for 10 days, you're going to hit it hard and see what you're capable of. This is Dr. Richard Du Bois. It's just my favorite quote. I have to share it anytime I'm doing a presentation. He was head of infectious disease in Atlanta, Georgia. He's been named as America's top doc. He came alongside the Juice Plus company 24 years ago. He was the first of now thousands of healthcare professionals to recommend our product. And he says there's nothing available anywhere else in the world, with or without a prescription, that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus does in the human body. And that's because plants know what to do in our body, and our body knows what to do with plants. And it's helping us detoxify on that cellular level. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to ask Steve and Kelly to unmute themselves and just share their story. They are a married couple. They are parents of 2. They have done multiple shreds, and I have their wonderful before and afters to share with you. But I'm going to let Steve kind of take it away for a little bit before I show his amazing results. So Steve, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve. My first experience with Juice Plus was over 2 years ago, and I was just not happy. And my wife was on Juice Plus and having great success. I'm like, I need to try this. So one summer I just dove in and started taking the capsules. And then I'm like, what's this shred10 thing? I want to do that too. Let's just do it. Most people usually are like, let's get used to the capsules, then eventually get to the shred10 and all that. But I'm like, let's just go. Let's do it. And I saw the list of things, and it's like, wow, so what can I do exactly? So it was kind of like intimidating, but I'm just like, I'm just doing this. And the first few days, usually are rough because it's like your body's craving that crappy food. But very soon after, I was like, whoa, I feel better. I have more energy. My body was feeling better. So with the Juice Plus and the shred10, I was able to lose some weight, which I know it's not what it's advertised as, but I did lose weight, like 30 pounds in like 3 months. And my cholesterol was very, very high, kind of almost to the scary kind of high. And it lowered that like 30 points. You can see some of the results there popping up. So it was just really helpful in all those areas: better energy, could go to the gym longer and this kind of stuff. So everything was great. And even as the years have gone on, I keep doing the shreds every now and then. What I like about the shred10 is like, it's 10 days. So you do anything for 10 days. I've been doing bad things for decades. So let's do something good for just 10 days. The other thing is, oh my gosh, sorry, I just lose my train of thought here. What was I going to say with that? I forgot. There's so many different things I was going to hit. The pictures are distracting me.
No.
The other thing I was going to say is, as far as guys are concerned, sometimes they're hard to convince to get on this stuff. So as far as Juice Plus, shred10, all that's concerned, and so the ladies here, is you're trying to talk to your husbands, significant others, brothers, dads, whatever. They don't usually listen because their philosophy is like, well, I can do better tomorrow. I'm going to do push-ups tomorrow, and I'm going to get to the gym, and I'm going to eat broccoli, and I will lose weight and be better, and I'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and they never do it. I was exact same. Like, I was just like, Kelly was wanting to eat healthier and be better. And I'm like, well, I'll just do that tomorrow. I'll do some pull-ups and I'll be fine. And it's just how guys are. We're just stubborn. We're still kind of like cavemen. We just want to I'll just move more. And it doesn't happen. Something always pops up. So what I love is that Juice Plus is always there. I get my fruits and veggies no matter what, even if I have a bad day. And then the shred10 on top of that, I remember what I was going to say, is many of those habits in those first 10 days, we just carry forward. Like, we do we almost do a shred 10 all the time. It's just, certain days are better than others. Because we try to avoid gluten. We try to do these things. And my body feels so much better when I avoid those things. I'm a teacher. The school year just started. There's germs everywhere. I rarely get sick. But this year, there's added stress because we have a young one, a 6-7-month-old, and I've been very busy at work, and I got into some bad habits, eating some bad food, and I feel it. I feel my body just, it feels toxic. I feel it's not where it should be, where it was. So I'm looking forward to this shred 10 because my body needs a reset, and this is a great way to get back into the habits, get rid of some toxins in the body, and just overall feel better. So highly recommend it. Love to answer any questions if you have, especially trying to get guys on this. That's kind of one of my missions, is trying to get more guys into Juice Plus and the Shred 10. So
that's awesome. I love it. Thank you, Steve, for sharing your story. He did just totally jump in. And you spoke about what our goal is, right? Is learning really how your body should feel. And once you get that, it's easier to stay on track. So I love that. Love hearing your story. Kelly, if you don't mind kind of taking it away. She's been able to do this while pregnant, and she's been off, been able to do this for years. So we'd love to hear from you, Kel.
Thank you. Yeah. So Steve jumped in with the Shred 10. I will say when I started with the Juice Plus capsules, I was just postpartum and went, no, looked at the rules. Like I'll figure that out later. And so had wonderful experience with the capsules. When I said, you really gotta start these, he's like, Shred 10, and went, okay, here we go. And we both just had a wonderful experience. And at that time Ethan was about 8 months, 10 months, and my energy just started to improve. And I went, well, hell, this is wonderful. I didn't expect a lot from it. And I have been doing shreds almost monthly every now and then, through pregnancy, and I would modify. But once I realized how good my body felt, how much it was responding in a positive way, like, thank you, that's what we would like to do. That's how we would like to work. Can you please keep doing that? And it's, I think how Steve had mentioned, it's something that we've really lived by in our household slowly, over time, going, I need this stuff in the house. Why is this in the house? Mm-hmm. Get it out. Nobody needs it. And especially having kids, it's like, none of this stuff needs to be here. And so we've slowly adopted a lot of the rules to just are normal. And we know that when life happens, when birthday parties and other events, like Steve had said, we know to come back to this. And so we love this restart, this jumpstart we get to have every month, also because there's a whole group helping. And I thought that really helped me to have this Facebook group of people who were new and people who were veterans and trying to, live these rules daily, no matter if it's the 10 days or not. And so it was just a great place to share recipes and hear their stories and support each other. And I personally really, really did like that. The biggest things, that I really experienced, I will say, I want to say probably it's been 2 years of doing shreds on and off. And a couple months ago I went, you know what? I haven't done it to the T for 10 days. They did have 10 days for a reason. Dr. Nitra Wraith probably thought of this, she laid it out, let's try it. And I really did it for the first time to the T. And I honestly could not believe how good I felt. And it's hard to do it every day all the time, but I will never ever forget. And it's always my goal. My energy was unbelievable. I had no idea people wake up with energy. I didn't, I'm not a morning person. And I guess maybe that's not necessarily my personality. That was just my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go. And Steve was like, I don't really understand what's happening. I don't drink coffee either. I never, it's like, I just was fueled. And I have a 7-month-old. And at that point, she was like 4 or 5 months. And so I was like, who has this much energy with 2 little kids? And, the belly bloat would go away. My thoughts were clear. My sleep was unbelievable. I just didn't think my sleep could get deeper and more solid, and just these things were just like, I just didn't know that's how the body would respond to wonderful nutrition and these rules that were serving me, versus kind of like a diet where it's like, just take these things out and you'll lose weight. And that's maybe what it looks like on the outside, and it's just not. It's just I usually lose weight, and granted I did this when I was pregnant, but it's never about weight loss. If that's what my body wants, it'll do that. If it's not, that's fine. I don't care. I want to feel that good all the time. And that's kind of my goal now.
That's awesome, Kel. I love that. You're right. It's not about weight loss. It's about health. And it's crazy how when we focus on health, the weight comes along with it. So at this point, I'm going to throw it to Katie. She was a first-time shredder very recently. Please go ahead and unmute yourself and share your story. I'm going to show you your image right now, and then you go ahead and take it over.
All right, guys. Hi, how is everyone? I know everyone's muted, but I hope good. Sorry if you can hear the music in the background. I'm at work. But yes, this was my very first shred. And I, as you guys can tell, was just absolutely stunned at my own results. I think this is so awesome for me because I was just the epitome of somebody that, like Steve was saying, I moved my body so much, but I didn't really take into account how to fuel it and how to feed it. And I played a collegiate sports. I played softball in college, and nutrition was never my thing. I was always like, well, I'm working out every single day. I'm having my 6 a.m. workouts. I'm going to practice 5 hours a day. Like, I'm fine. I don't need to eat okay. And my diet just consisted of sodas and candies and processed sugar and fruit snacks and fast food because you're always on the go. So I think me starting Juice Plus was just kind of me taking a little step. And it's so funny because I was so stubborn coming into this business. I was like, well, I'm too poor to afford it. Like, I don't know. Once again, my nutrition wasn't at like the top of my list. So I think this past shred, I finally got myself to do the trio. And I just said, you know what, me and my mom together, we're like, you know what, I'm going to do it 10 days. I could do anything for 10 days. Let's see kind of how my body would work if I were to fuel it actually the right way. So I jumped into this shred, honestly, not knowing what was going to happen. My diet consisted of all 5 things that you cut out: gluten, dairy, alcohol, everything. So it was all in my diet. Sorry, my coworkers are yelling at me, but everything was in my diet. So having to cut it off for me, I went into it like, just absolutely, I can't do this. I don't think I'm going to do this. How's it going to go? So having a community around me was awesome to kind of help me. Now, once I got into the shred, days 1 through 3 were by far the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I coach at 4:30. So I'm a personal trainer at Orange Theory Fitness, and I coach like 5 a.m. classes, and I'm here all day long. I've been here since 4:30 today, and I would just live on pre-workout and energy drinks and all this. I drink at least 2 to 3 a day. And so the first 3 days without caffeine, I was a walking zombie. And I warned everybody, I told everyone, but after day 4, I think day 4 was that turning point for me where I woke up and it was just my natural energy was just out of the world. You can feel my skin started clearing up, nails, hair, all of it, like everything just started to kind of jump and take off. So that's where I really started to believe in it. And I was like, wow, this really is working just after 4 or 5 days. Like, this is crazy. So I stayed super, super strict to it. I even went out, I avoided alcohol, I avoided all of it. And then just over the 10 days, I just saw so many changes in my bodies. Waking up was not a problem. I was waking up 15 minutes before my 3:45 alarm, just feeling energized, getting up, turning music on in the morning, making breakfast, like everything was so good. And it was so funny because after I told myself in the very beginning, oh, on day 10, when you're finished, you're going to splurge on all your favorite things. You're going to go order pizza. You're going to go eat all the junk food that you've been missing for 10 days to reward yourself. Day 10 came and it was like, okay, I don't want any of that. I would rather just go home and cook my own food and like actually be healthy because it created a habit for me, which was awesome. So yes, I know the weight loss wasn't a part of it, but it was the first time you guys saw those pictures before and after. I lost 9 pounds in 10 days. That was the first time since high school. I'm 23 now. It was the first time since high school I saw 140s on the scale. So I was just like, unbelievable. And even today is actually the very first day I had a sip of caffeine since the start of the last shred. So I hadn't drinking caffeine since. I still haven't eaten candy, soda, all of the stuff I used to live on. It's just completely out of my diet now. The capsules I take every single day, the shakes I'm drinking every single day, and just my overall body, the way I feel after workouts, everything has just fallen into place. And it's like, this is what I should have been doing my whole life. Like, what took you so long? So I think just overall it was a great experience. I mean, I can go on for days about it, but I'll kind of keep it right there. So yeah, once again, you could do anything for 10 days. It completely changed my mindset on all of it. And I've just completely taken off with all of this. So yeah, that's my story. Great results.
That is such an awesome story. And you sound just like Kelly when she really stuck with it for 10 days. We had a trip after and she was like, I don't want to eat any of this food. It feels so good to feel this good. So Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing. And you know, you didn't do it sooner because there probably wasn't someone sharing this information with you. And that's why we're here. That's why we're passionate. We want people to know there's a better way. And the Shred10 Juice Plus is a part of that better way. So we really invite you to do one of 4 things. Number 1, maybe you're just fired up to eat better and you want to go to the grocery store and buy lots of fruits and vegetables. And if that's where you're at, we totally support it. And we want you to do that. Number 2, maybe you're like, okay, the shred totally intimidates me, but I really want to start on Juice Plus, because some people just get started on Juice Plus and they bridge the gap, and they have, and with time, like Kelly, they start becoming more open to the idea of making lifestyle changes. So we can totally help you there. Number 3, our next Shred10 starts on October 1st, but we do these monthly. We aim for, it's somewhere around the beginning of the month for 10 days. So you can meet us wherever you'd like. You can go on Juice Plus and jump right in, or you can do it in November, December, or whenever. So this is always available to you whenever you're ready. And then finally, maybe you heard this information and you thought of people in your life who need to hear this. And if that's what you thought, we really want to talk with you, because that's our mission. It's our mission to inspire healthy living around the world. We're trying to get this message out to everyone. So connect with the person who invited you so they can help you share this message with everyone. And I want to unmute you all and thank everyone who shared. You did such a wonderful job. And go ahead and just have a wonderful night, you guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.